All right, this section here is about the equation of a circle. This is something that you'll definitely see in your future math classes. So the equation of a circle with center h and k and radius r is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. This is the standard form of an equation of a circle. Basically, the center is h comma k. You've got your radius, and then all these points out here are some x comma y. When you are writing an equation of a circle, so I don't know why kids kind of mess this up, but basically you should have a number where the h is, you should have a number where the k is, and you should have a number where the r is. But the x and the y, you're going to leave as x and y, just like when you write an equation of a line, like y equals mx plus b, you put in something for m, you put in something for x, you put in something for m, you put in something for b, but you don't put in anything for y or x. So your equation looks like this. So the same thing is going to happen here. All right, if you think about this here, this kind of looks kind of similar to things that we've seen before. We've got something squared plus something else squared equals something squared. So it looks a little bit like the Pythagorean theorem. It also looks a little bit like the distance formula. So if I think about using the distance formula here, so instead of d, maybe if I wanted to find this length here, so r is equal to, so the distance formula would say I'd have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, all square root, is equal to r. So if I got rid of the square root, if I squared both sides, there's my standard form of the equation of a circle. All right, so when you're asked to write the equation of a circle, again, everything up here that I underlined in pink, you're filling something in for it. So it's, and remember, h comma k is the center. So it says, what's the standard equation of a circle with a center 3 comma 5 and a radius of 6? So if I go up here, so this is my h, this is my k, this is my r. So basically I'm going to have x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared is equal to r squared, and I can square that part, so 6 squared is 36. So that's my standard equation of a circle. And the next one, it says, what's the standard equation of a circle with the center 4 comma 3? So this is my h comma k that passes through the point negative 1, 1. So the problem here with this one is I don't know the radius. So the way I'm going to find the radius here is I have the center and I have a point on the circle. So I'm going to use the distance formula to find the radius. So I could do 4 minus a negative 1. Remember, that'll be plus there. Plus, and that's squared. 3 minus the 1 there, and that'll be squared. So I have 5 squared, 25. 3 minus 1 squared is 2. 2 squared is 4. So this is the square root of 29. So then when I want to write the radius, the formula for the standard equation of the circle, I'm going to do x minus my h, which in this case is 4, plus y minus my k, which in this case is 3, equals to the square root of 29 squared, which is just 29. All right, and I have two problems here we're going to look at, 13 and 38. 13, again, it's another pretty straightforward one here, just writing the equation of the circle. So that's the center, so it's always x minus h. So in this case, it's x minus a negative 9, so that ends up being x plus 9 squared plus y minus k, which in this case is -4, so y minus the -4 squared. And then you'd have the square root of 5 squared, which is also just 5. Okay, so that's 13. And then 38. So 38 is a little bit like the last problem, but also a little different. For 38, what it says here is that it says to write an equation of a circle with the diameter of AB. So when I write my equation of a circle, I need to know where the center is and I need to know what the radius is. So if I know the diameter, so if these are the endpoints of the diameter, then what I can do here is I could find the midpoint, because the midpoint has to be the center, because if I find the midpoint of the diameter, that's the center of the circle. So to find the center of the circle, all I'm doing is using the midpoint formula. So your midpoint formula again is 3 plus 7 divided by 2, so you add the two x's, comma 0 plus 6 divided by 2. So my midpoint is at 5, comma 3. So that would get me this part of my equation. But the problem is I still need the radius parts. Well, what I could do now, there's two ways you can do this. You could find the length of the diameter using the distance formula and divide it by 2. Or you could find the length of the center to one of the endpoints and divide, and that would just be your radius. Then you wouldn't have to divide anything by 2. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my center and I'll use that 3, 0 point. So my radius, I'm going to do, I'll do this, it doesn't matter which way, but I'll do this center minus, I'll do the endpoint minus the center, I guess. So 3 minus 5 squared plus 0 minus 3 squared. So 3 minus 5 is -2. When I square that, -2 squared is 4. 3 minus 0, 0 minus 3 is -3. When I square that, I have 9. So the radius is the square root of 13. So then the square root of 13 squared ends up being 13. So this would be my answer. Remember, I had to use the midpoint to find the center to get my h and k, and then I used the distance formula from the center to one of the endpoints to find the radius. You could have used endpoint B, you would have gotten the same radius.